What's up, everybody? Lawler here. Another Sunday means another Q&A video. I think we're on like the 14th, something like that. Keep your questions coming. I absolutely love these. As I always state every week, this is my favorite video of the week to do, but I can't do it without you guys. So if you guys would like to submit your questions, if I don't answer them, submit them again. Let me know in the comments down below or tweet at me at LawlerTV. I will be happy to answer any of those. But with that said, let's get into it. What is up, everybody? Another Sunday means another Q&A video. We're on number 14, so let's start cracking with these. A lot of really fun ones, a lot of personal ones as well, which I'm a big fan of. Someone even left the comment. It's like, you can make these videos as long as you want. I love listening to you talk about literally anything. So that's, I mean, power to you, man. Come over to the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Lawler. We talk about way too much nonsense. It's usually a good time. First question comes from Ben. It says, outside of Rocket League, what is your favorite game to cast and watch as an esport? I'm going to separate these two. My favorite game to watch as an esport is probably Counter-Strike. Huge Counter-Strike fan. I used to sit down and watch CSGO or even OG like 1.6 and Source and stuff with a buddy of mine who was really, really good at it. And StarCraft all the time when I was a kid. StarCraft, like Brood War, was my first like true competitive game I competed in on a team and like actually won stuff. It was crazy. But I really like watching Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike, Valorant here and there. I cheered on the V1 guys when they did their run in Iceland, which was really exciting. But Counter-Strike's super easy to sit down and watch and hang out with. Their casters are phenomenal. But yeah, watching, probably Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike's up there. I still remember, what was it? DreamHack Sweden 2017 in Jönköping. Sorry if I butcher that, all you Swedes. But it was CLG versus Fnatic at home. Went to like 5 OTs and stuff. It was nuts. I remember me and Wavepunk waking up like every other like 2 hours between us snoring because we were jet lagged beyond belief and like just watching it. It's like, but overtime is it? He's like the fourth one. I'm like, oh, okay, I pass out, I wake back up, and then I would watch, and then he would pass out, and we just took turns. But yeah, watching that stuff live is incredible. Favorite game to cast though, big fan of casting battle royales, even though people hate battle royales as esports. Apex Legends, love that stuff. Love the ability to theory craft and have a bunch of open space and show personality and be charismatic and banter with my co-commentator because there is a little bit more downtime. But then there's a lot more strategy and a lot more things going on. When you've got that many people in the lobby with different styles and different score lines and storylines to talk about and like what it means and all, it's so much fun. And then you get super awesome, crazy, exciting moments at the top 10 or the final circles and stuff like that, which is, as a play-by-play guy, really, really fun to cast. So yeah, really like casting battle royales. Apex Legends, I've casted, I think like 6 or 7 titles now. But Apex Legends is super fun to cast. EA, hire me. Jacob S, have you thought about having a Patreon, like for questions and stuff, and a way to make sure you can get by? Honestly, man, I haven't. I don't really understand the reason of a Patreon. I make videos like this for the community, and having to make you guys think you have to pay for that is kind of weird. If you guys think I should have a Patreon, let me know down below. Maybe I'll make one. Tell me what you guys want for the different tiers, because I know what it is, but like, if you guys want me to have a Patreon, let me know down below, and maybe I'll add additional tiers and stuff like that if you guys really, really want it. But like, you gotta really want it, because I just don't see the benefit. I don't think it'd be, other than you guys just giving me money, which I feel kind of weird about. But I appreciate the love, man, and the support. That's crazy. But if you guys want for questions and stuff, just leave them in the comments. Like I said at the beginning of the video, just leave comments here and I'll read them. Covius asks, with the recent downtrend of players, do you believe there will follow another boom in player base? Do you think the next generation RL is needed? There's a couple things to this. I will be making a video about what I think will bring Rocket League back to that next level. I teased it in my video, I think on Thursday, possibly towards the end. I will be making a dedicated video about a certain up-and-coming thing you talk about in your comment about Sideswipe. I do think Sideswipe is going to do some pretty incredible things. I will save my rant about that in an upcoming video. But yes, Sideswipe I think is going to do some very amazing things for Rocket League. There will be another boom, I think, in the player base, personally. Dennis says, what do you think separates casters casting bubble-level gameplay and below and RLCS casters? The number one and the obvious one is experience. A lot of the RLCS casters, myself included, when I was part of the RLCS, have been casting more than literally everybody else combined and at a professional level. The benefit of being exposed to the experience of being on camera in a studio with a professional production crew and the pressure that comes with that does make you faster at a much significantly faster rate. That is a lot of it. Experience is the number one thing. I also notice a lot of tendencies from like bubble and like entry level casters where they have a hard time filling or talking about things. They're not as knowledgeable about stuff. Their vocabulary, their lexicon isn't as big. They don't have the ability to express things because Rocket League is a lot of repetition. They have a hard time of knowing like the game history and discussing and talking about certain things that matter. They also use a lot of similes and metaphors that just aren't needed. They fill things with like what they think is like goofy and funny, but it just sounds really stupid. If you ask me personally, cut all that out. You don't need it. I don't know why people continue to make references and similes, and metaphors to things rather than just focusing on the game itself. It feels really awkward to me, and maybe that's just a personal preference thing. Some people may enjoy that, but when you're talking about a professional level, and I guess that's the difference too, depending on what you're casting is going to change. Whether I'm casting a bubble tournament or I'm casting the RLCS, if I'm casting a professional league or doing a Madden tournament with former pros like I did recently, there's a different vibe and a different atmosphere that you're trying to create. Your job as a commentator is to bring in an atmosphere and entertain. And it's not to take away the spotlight of the core thing, which is the gameplay and the stuff that's actually happening, but you're there to sprinkle in a little bit of flavor to make it so things are more entertaining. And there's certain moments like Pirelli saying his favorite number is the number 69 because of a thing he tried to set up that leads to really funny moments for the casters and why the casters can make a broadcast better. But for the general premises, it really depends on what you're trying to cover. What is your job when you're there? When we first started the RLCS, I got criticized heavily because the things I were explaining were very elementary things, but we also had 20,000 viewers that have never watched Rocket League before. Esport was the first time they were watching Rocket League. So you have to explain things at a very base level, but then as the player base gets more and more experienced, that stuff starts to go away. So you have to know your audience. You have to know what you're projecting to. You have to know what you're talking about and being able to fill for time and stuff like that. I remember one time during the championships, I think it might have been season 6 or season 7. I think it was season 6. The first time, I don't remember. Whenever South America came in for the first time, their USB cables didn't work. So we had to fill for 35 minutes on desk. We literally got done with the opening ceremony, talked about everything, ready to throw into the matches. We said everything we needed to say, but we were still, between myself, Leaf, Gibbs, and Shamako, filled for 35 minutes of airtime, straight. And people thought it was part of the show. Again, a lot of prep, a lot of experience that comes with that, a lot of chemistry with your co-commentators. That's the benefit of having that experience. Always comes down to experience. Pilot Jack says, with COVID theoretically coming to an end, how many fans do you think the next LAN will attract? A lot. Crowds seem to get bigger every LAN. Yes and no. And with so many teams and so much on the line, maybe 6,000+ to the majors and maybe 10,000+ for the World Championship. I think it's going to be a lot. Even though the game feels a little mundane and a little bit flat right now, people are all talking about it dying and stuff. When the first World Championship rolls around, people are going to be craving going and doing stuff. People are going to crave going to see this game live. I think it's going to be the biggest one we've ever had. I think it's going to be absolutely massive, especially after the free-to-play buzz. You look at all these content creators now that have all surpassed 1 million subscribers. Like, it's going to be nuts. And I highly recommend that everybody, if you have the opportunity to go to it whenever it does come back, do so. I will be there in some capacity. I can guarantee it. And it's going to be a big celebration. That next LAN is going to be insane. I don't know what Sonics has planned, but I can only imagine with this much downtime and this much like itching of like, how do we get it back? What do we want? That next LAN is going to be massive, dude. It's going to be absolutely insane. I think it'll probably be at capacity. At least I hope it will be. Card News says, do you think Sam could be better in gameplay than OCE? Yes, I actually do think so. After watching, and this one's actually kind of weird because in season 8, I did think that we did see South America perform better than OCE. I think South America at that point had surpassed and become the third best region in the RLCS. I think it was obviously NA, EU, SAM, and then OCE. But now that we've had a lot of downtime, it feels kind of weird. There's some things that SAM does that are very, very punishable with their defensive rotations, and OCE does play pretty quick, but there's some things that they also mess up too, and a lot of whiffs and uncharacteristic things. So I personally want to see Sam and OCE play each other before I give you the exact thing, but back in Season 8 World Championships, Sam was definitely better than OC in my opinion. Gabriel says, appreciate your content as always. Do you have a morning routine? Also, aside all the content creation you do for the RL community and casting, what does your typical day look like in these recent times, pandemic and all? So My everyday routine, most recently in the past like 4 months, because I started working out and eating healthier and all that kind of stuff. I usually wake up around like 8 or 9 a.m., sometimes earlier, sometimes later, depending on what my body feels like. I then usually will try to kind of get ready for the day. I'll prep a YouTube video because the videos get uploaded overnight. So when I wake up, I can then get them going for you guys in the morning or the afternoon. So wake up, do the YouTube video. After that's done, I then take my pre-workout. I work out for about an hour, hour and a half, and then shower and make breakfast slash lunch. After that, I then stream or work on YouTube videos. And then after that, I either stream or work on YouTube videos. So after I'm done with my workout and lunch, usually around like 1, 2 in the afternoon, I grind YouTube content, streaming, all that kind of stuff until it gets done, whenever that may be. Sometimes a little bit longer, sometimes a little bit later. At the same time, I'm then always working on other projects, preparing for new videos, working on the TV show, talking with production companies, all that kind of stuff. Just making sure that I can always stay one step ahead, working on new stuff and new things, and trying to get new gigs, talking with my agency, all that kind of stuff. And then after that is all said and done, I usually try to find time to hang out, spend time with friends, watch anime, or go for a run or a walk on the trail, or whatever I can to do to get out of the house, because right now the mental has been suffering because we're all stuck inside and it sucks. So I've been putting a lot of emphasis on spending times with friends and family, going outside, getting vitamin D, even though everybody thinks I'm super pale, which I am. I still try to go outside as much as possible just because it makes a difference. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's a lot of the same old. When people ask me what I'm up to, content. It's pretty much what I'm doing. Trying to keep myself ahead of the game and trying to grow and do what I can. So but yeah, a lot of it has been health and fitness lately, working on my mental health, my physical health, and eating healthier and all that kind of stuff. So I highly recommend it. Makes a big difference. I actually work more than what I used to now, even with me working out and eating healthier and doing meal prep and all that kind of stuff. I eat dinner in there at points and snacks and all that kind of stuff, but it's my typical day. Next, Wuggin says, what is the penalty for teams that do not retain at least 2 players from the RLCS roster? So he's referencing a rule, which is the 2/3 rule, which is switched over to 3/4 rule. Basically, it states that if a majority of your starters, so 2 out of your 3 starters on the roster, this now includes the sub, that's how you get the 3/4, end up leaving the team during the season, there's a trade window that you have to follow. So if you end up losing a sub or a starter of your roster, you can only swap in 1 more. You have to retain 2 out of 3 of the starting players. Starting player is someone that is deemed that plays half the season. If you do not retain that, if you end up replacing multiple, so in this case, Team Liquid has reserved or earned a spot based upon their performances in the past. And now that it is just Ronicky and 2 new players, they are going to have to go through open qualifiers. If you go and look at the Liquipedia page, any of the teams that have disbanded or come back together or have changed multiple roster iterations, more than 1 player, they forfeit all the points that they have earned up to that point, or they have forfeited their qualifier spot or their guaranteed spot because they're starting without any track record or history in the past. So if you are, for example, the best one I can give, NRG, you're Justin, Squishy, and Garrett. Say Justin leaves, they bring in a new player. 2 of those 3 are still the same, therefore they're fine, they retain all their stuff. But say 2 players left and it's just Garrett and they rebuild around that, they're starting from square one. They got to go through open qualifiers, they forfeit all their points, etc. Hopefully that makes sense. Sam PS used to play with Lethmir and all of his gang. Are you still mates with them, and what happened? Are you still in touch? Yeah, still love Lethmir, still talk to him on a regular basis. He and I still interact pretty regularly. The difficulty though is his schedule for recording those videos and mine don't really line up. Plus the content I make isn't gameplay related. All the content I make is news and talking about it and stuff like that. So unless you guys want me to start uploading some of those videos, which those videos never really did well on this channel, but unless you guys want me to start uploading gameplay videos of me playing this game poorly, I play like 2 hours a month because I'm usually too busy talking about it to play it. But if you guys want me to start uploading videos of me playing custom modes and stuff like that with Lethmir, by all means, let me know. Scheduling issues and conflict and stuff like that doesn't really line up. But yeah, still really good buddies with Lethmir and the lads over there. I think Zerx was literally in my Twitch chat today. So yeah, they've been grinding. Good to see them having a good time. Hopefully not just Lethmir is having success, because Gubbery and all those other guys work really, really hard as well. So that is going to wrap it up for this Q&A on Sunday. If you guys would like me to do more of these in the future, it is up to you. Let me know questions, comments, concerns below. Answer any of the ones that I asked you guys, as well as ones that you have for me, personal or otherwise, whether it be about my daily routine, my music taste, or whatever else you can think of. I'm not here to shy away from them, especially if they lead to good conversation. But that is going to do it for me. If you guys do enjoy the content, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.